The COVID year, 2020, it was really interesting because no one knew how to lead their organizations through that. Again, with the foundation and the friends' help, that was just wonderful. The community was wonderful. But how do you deal with the public who are experiencing this? A lot of stress, but how do you continue to offer library services and then expand library services in ways that people can still connect? And so really moving to online, curbside service, thinking about innovative ways to make sure that our books aren't carrying the virus, because in the early days, we didn't know how long it lived on surfaces, just all those types of things. But we made it through, and the staff are really resilient. The foundation has been tremendously supportive with the funds and the fundraising and just keeping awareness. What we've found is that the online services, particularly online story times and online programming, really thinking about how people want to use that service. And we've found statistically that people were going back and looking at those after the recording. So there was half the audience is looking at it live, the other half of the audience is looking sometime later. And then what we found is that our story times have a global appeal because people from around the world are connecting to them. We also began to challenge ourselves, particularly around, do we need to bring authors and all the cost of bringing them here? And I think sometimes we do, but sometimes they can do it from their living room and share with an audience about a book. And we've done some great work. What we hope for the future, the country is just in a really unique position, and we're talking about, it seems almost like a culture war between two opposing points of view. So the library's role going forward into the future is really to think about how do we create a neutral, safe space where ideas from both sides can exist and people can meet and find common ground. I think we all want the same thing. We want, safe neighborhoods, good schools for our kids, good jobs, and this is something we can all agree on. How we get there, we can have disagreements on, but we have to do that in a way that is not divisive or overtly political. Most of us just live our regular lives, and we're confronted with all these new types of things, and I think the library is positioned to help people deal with those conflicts. And I think we have more in common as a community than we have differences. And I think that's part of the American dream, which is to give everyone an opportunity and to have equity in society. And I think the library plays a part in helping people figure out what that looks like. There isn't a manual for figuring out, but that's where coming out, I think there are a lot of people that are really suffering, may have lost their jobs or are in an economically worse place than when they started. And I think the library can help as a service, find a job, get a skill, connect with other resources, but also provide a kind of a pathway to hope.